I was recently asked why I got or how I originally got into baseball, and I figured now since the Mariners game's canceled today, makeup game on Sunday, and I'm not feeling too great, I figured why not make that video now? So I actually probably the first time I went to a baseball game, I was like 5 or 6 years old. Went with my parents to the local minor league team. It's pretty cool. Bisons. They were AAA Guardians at that point. Now, then they were AAA Mets for a little while, which was the worst, and now they're AAA Toronto. And I enjoyed it for a little while. I thought it was pretty cool. Got to see some stuff. I thought about getting into scoring, but I couldn't really figure it out at first. But I'm trying to get into that now. I bought a scorebook, and once I start feeling better, I'm going to do that. I've been sick for about a month. It's not COVID. I've had multiple tests, so there's that. Uh, but I enjoyed it. And then we didn't have cable when I was a kid. So on Saturdays, what we would do is we would watch cartoons in the morning. Then, if there was a Xfinity Series race on over-the-air TV, we'd watch that. But if there wasn't, what we'd end up doing is we'd watch Fox Saturday Baseball, which used to be at 4 and 7. They used to be it's still at 4. Sometimes it's at 7. It really depends. So we'd watch Fox Saturday Baseball, and it was pretty cool. Um, at one point, my I never actually played baseball because I was never coordinated enough to do it. And the sport I did was taekwondo and chess in high school, and I did get the opportunity to umpire for Little League, for 2 games during a time when they were low on umpires and it was t-ball, and I was just like, okay, it's just out and safe at the bases. Okay, easy enough. I don't gotta call balls and strikes. I'm not gonna look like Angel Hernandez. That wasn't what I was thinking. I didn't know who Angel Hernandez was at the time. But I just was like, I just have to call out and safe. No balls, no strikes. And I also got the opportunity to help coach when the coach of the team didn't show up one day. And my father and I coached the team to a 56-0 win. The only person who did not get on base from our team was my brother, who struck out looking in T-ball 3 times. There was basically a timer for the plate appearance, which was wild. And I just thought it was really cool. And another thing that helps is that I've got ADHD. So right now I've got the Phillies White Sox game on the TV, and like I can watch the pitch happens, swing, and then I can go back and do something else. So it's something where like there's that built-in downtime, and you can kind of when things are going to start happening, so you can focus on more than one thing at a time, and it super helps. Um, a lot of the times when I'm watching a baseball game, I'll be making content or I'll be playing some video games. Most recently, I've been playing Pokemon while watching baseball. It's super fun. I don't know how many baseball games I watch a year. I try to watch most Mariners games, but sometimes that's not possible just due to my schedule. Especially being an East Coast Mariners fan. East Coast Mariners fans have it rough. Like today's game was supposed to start at 8:40, um, our time, 5:40 Seattle time, which would have been really nice because if I were in Seattle, I would have been home from school or work for at least a couple hours by that point. Well, today I don't have school, so it's no big deal on Fridays. But on when we play Thursdays, it's rough because I'm at school till midnight the next 2 weeks, and then school's over. And we play on Thursday this week, and that's the third out and 6. But it's really nice to be able to have something on that you can kind of. And I'm not saying this is baseball as a second screen thing. This is as a my attention is split between baseball and the other thing that I'm doing. So it makes it super easy, which is super better for me as a person with ADHD. Um, I've watched other teams aside from the Mariners. Like obviously, I'm watching the Phillies and the White Sox right now. I've watched Yankees and Mets games here and there. I watch games from other teams that are like, oh, okay, cool. Let's see how that goes. And like, I have MLB TV because as a student, as a college student, I pay $100 a year, and I actually got it as a birthday present this year. So I paid $0 this year. And what's nice is over the summer, Cubs games start at 2:20, so basically I can watch baseball all day. I can watch a 2:20 game, 2:20 to 5 ish, and then take maybe a 2 hour break during the weekday to do whatever I want. and then watch more games, watch the Mariners game, because the Mariners games usually start late, like the West Coast games. The East Coast games are actually annoying for me because, like, I'll go to bed at, like, usually during the summer, I go to bed at 3 a.m. It's just the way my brain works. I just, weird sleep thing. But the really cool thing about baseball is there's also so much other cool stuff you can get into with it. Like, I really like the advanced stats that they have now. But like back in the day, not really back in the day, but when I was a kid, like I was always like, oh, batting average, on base percentage, slug, pitches, strikes, strikeout percent, all that stuff. It was super cool to look into that. And when I learned about like the Mendoza line, I was like, oh, that's cool. When I learned about all of those things, I was like, that's really cool. Baseball has so much history too. Like baseball history goes back to like I think 1869 in terms of like professional, and it was invented during the Civil War for Union soldiers to. So like you can just there's so much you can do with baseball that's peripheral to baseball, and it's just so cool. And I always like getting useless information.